Welcome to the year 2024, or whatever year you happen to be watching this in. The entire Echo miniseries is dropping at one time as a generous late Christmas gift from Kevin Feige to us. Considering that the last few Marvel projects have been less than stellar, people have high hopes that the return of Charlie Cox's Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk, the canonization of the Netflix MCU universe, and the more mature tone of the show is just the shot in the arm that the MCU needs desperately right now. Maya Lopez, or Echo as she's better known within the Marvel Comics universe, is honestly an extremely awesome character. I've read quite a bit of her comics, and today we're going to cover her comic origins, powers, and some little known elements of her backstory and what she's doing right now. So strap in, because today I bring you the comic origins of Echo. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Exter. Exter makes modern wallets, bags, and accessories that are functional and actually look good. Exter was cool enough to send Garrick and I each a wallet to test out, and they're actually pretty cool. This is the Parliament wallet in black, and it looks very respectable. They also have a really cool feature that allows the cards to fan out for convenient storage of up to 12 cards. They come in a ton of colors, but they also have carbon fiber or even wallets made out of ultra-durable space-grade aluminum in case you end up in space. They also have an optional tag that is solar-powered that tracks your wallet through your phone if you lose it, or models that feature a spot for an Apple AirTag if you'd rather use that. So follow the link in the description today and use our code KEYISSUES at checkout and you'll receive a discount of up to 45% off. Thanks again to Exter, and let's get back to the video. Maya Lopez's first comic book appearance was Daredevil Volume 2, issue number 9, written by David Mack and illustrated by Joel Quesada. In 1998, Marvel filed for bankruptcy, sales were struggling in the comic space, and Marvel reached out to Joe Quesada and his partners and asked that they create 4 books kind of free from the burden of this ongoing Marvel comic continuity problem. These books served as a jumping-on point for fans. The line of books became known as the Marvel Knights line and were aimed at a more mature reader. Daredevil was one of these titles. In issue number 9, we're introduced to Maya Lopez, a young girl whose father works for Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, as an enforcer. Maya's father was killed by Fisk. Maya, after her father's death, lived a comfortable life taken care of by Fisk, who planned to use her unique talents at a later time. Maya was born deaf, but developed the ability to copy physical movements and replay them in her mind. She could rewind them and mimic them with pinpoint accuracy almost immediately. This was applicable to everything from professional dance to fighting styles or even accuracy with weapons. Fisk helps raise Maya and tells the young girl that her father was killed by Daredevil. He even gives her the supposed gun that Daredevil used to kill her father. She keeps it along with footage of Daredevil fighting Bullseye in order to learn his fighting techniques. Maya then seeks out Matt Murdock at Kingpin's behest, whom she was unaware was Daredevil. Kingpin wanted to stop Matt and Foggy from pressing a case against him after a janitor that worked for Kingpin uncovered some of his criminal activity. This janitor, Larry Sobolski, sends his twin brother to recruit Matt and Foggy to bring a case against Fisk, but the twin brother is shot and killed by Fisk's assassins. Fisk sends Maya to try and persuade Matt not to take the case, with Maya claiming that Fisk was truly a benevolent man. Unbeknownst to Maya, Matt is Daredevil, and the two end up turning their discussion into a date and really hitting it off. Maya decides to pursue Matt, but decides she needs to close the book on the Daredevil must die chapter of her life by first tracking him down and killing him. She hunts down Daredevil and the two battle, with Maya able to easily get the upper hand due to her abilities. She's about to execute him in the street when she notices that there are a lot of people observing their battle, including kids. She flees, but considering she wasn't really concealed, Matt now knows that Maya is after him. Well, after Daredevil. Kingpin ends up being acquitted of the charges against him, but after the trial, it's revealed that Larry the janitor had snuck into his limo and fired multiple rounds into Fisk's chest, causing him to fall into the Hudson River. Later, Daredevil is on patrol cleaning up some of Fisk's remaining thugs when Black Widow, his former girlfriend, arrives and asks him how he's been. Their conversation is cut short because Natasha is shot by Echo with a tranq dart, and Matt and Echo end up in another brutal fight. Matt is able to dispatch Maya when he traps her in a dark warehouse and she can't see. After the battle, Maya determines that somehow Daredevil is able to use sound to his advantage. She lures Daredevil to a playground near train tracks, construction, and traffic, making it very loud. She also lights it on fire to drown out any smells, essentially a nightmare scenario for Matt. He's beaten pretty badly before she's able to realize that Daredevil has the same wound on his cheek that Matt had when they first met a few days previously. She understands now that Matt is Daredevil and couldn't have killed her father because he was in elementary school when she died, making Fisk a liar and most likely the person to have committed the crime. Maya tracks down Kingpin, who had crawled from the sewers back to the boxing gym that Maya frequently trained in growing up. Maya confronts him, and Kingpin attempts to talk his way out of it before she shoots him in the face. However, Kingpin doesn't die. He's brought to the hospital and recovers, albeit completely blind for a period of time. Matt and Maya do eventually reconcile within the pages of Daredevil, and she spends some time coming to terms with her past and future by taking part in a Native American ceremony called a Vision Quest, which is kind of an umbrella term, but that's neither here nor there. In 2005, Brian Michael Bendis kicked off the new Avengers series, and in issue 11, Maya is brought into the fold as the original Ronin. Many of you might remember this mantle briefly being used by Hawkeye in Avengers Endgame. Maya becomes Ronin at the behest of both Matt Murdock and Captain America due to her extensive knowledge of the criminal underworld, the Hand, and her skill set. Brief detour, Maya creates the mantle of Ronin based entirely off the persona and legend of Daredevil. It's almost an homage to him. Maya is asked by Cap to be part of the new Avengers team using this alias, and she ends up getting tangled up in an international plot by the Hand and Hydra to reinstate the Silver Samurai as the leader of the Hand. After a number of interesting ninja fights and some double-crossing by Jessica Drew, who was being manipulated by Madam Web, the situation is resolved. Maya is revealed at the end of issue 3 to be Ronin and operates with that title for a period of time. Want to cover when she dies? Is that a spoiler for something that won't happen in the MCU and happened almost 20 years ago in the comics? Well, I'm sorry. Cap asks Maya to stay in Japan and report back on the Japanese underworld, and she does. But as civil war breaks out amongst the heroes back home, Maya abandons her post and begins taking a ruthless fight to the Hand in Japan. She's killed in a battle with Elektra and is immediately brought back from death by the Hand's magic. While in Hand custody, she is brainwashed through magic but ultimately rescued by a team of new Avengers. While at first appearing to be fine, she is indeed brainwashed by the Hand into almost killing Doctor Strange. Strange recovers and frees her of the mystical brainwashing. Oh, and it's also revealed that Elektra was a Skrull the whole time, which kind of starts the whole secret invasion thing, which is no big deal. The last thing I really wanted to cover was recently in comics, where Echo becomes the Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wow, the Phoenix went woke. Shut up. The Phoenix hadn't been seen on Earth since the events of Avengers vs. X-Men, but after the god Khonshu attempted to take over the Earth, Moon Knight became the avatar of the Phoenix Force to defeat him. Post leaving Moon Knight, the Phoenix comes to be nesting on Earth and begins calling to various heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe. Looking for a new host, a sort of tournament is set in motion where each combatant gets a small piece of the Phoenix's power, with the end goal being that whomever demonstrates the right stuff will inherit the Phoenix whether they want to or not. Maya is one of the chosen combatants, and while she initially loses in a battle against Namor under the seas while empowered, Maya alone determines that becoming the Phoenix isn't about winning, it's about dying and being reborn as something new. Ultimately, the Phoenix Force chooses Echo to inherit the entire power of the Phoenix Force. While Echo does eventually lose the power of the Phoenix, those comics were recently released, so I didn't want to spoil too much of that in this video in case you aren't caught up. And that sums up about what I wanted to discuss today as it related to Echo, from humble beginnings as a mercenary working for Kingpin to the cosmic embodiment of rebirth and fire. I would say that Echo has had her fair share of accomplishments. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot, and if you did, consider liking and subscribing and doing all that other crap that YouTubers ask you to do. This has been Nick with Key Issues. Thank you for watching, and remember the motto, Echo over everything.